For centuries, Turkey has played a significant role in shaping the political and cultural landscape of the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire, which ruled over vast territories in the region from the 13th to the early 20th century, left an indelible mark on the region's history and identity. Erdogan, a charismatic and ambitious leader, has often invoked the Ottoman legacy, expressing his desire to restore Turkey's former glory and prestige in the Middle East. But Erdogan's Middle East dream is fraught with potential dangers. His assertive foreign policy, characterized by military interventions and support for Islamic groups, has raised concerns about Turkey's intentions and destabilized already volatile regions. This video examines the implications of Erdogan's ambitions, exploring whether his Middle East dream is a nightmare to regional stability. You see, the Middle East has long been plagued by instability and conflict. Erdogan's actions and rhetoric have the potential to exacerbate these challenges, with far-reaching consequences for the region and the world at large. Understanding the motivations and potential consequences of Erdogan's Middle East dream is crucial for navigating the complex and ever-changing geopolitical landscape of the region. And this is exactly what this video will uncover. Dedicate a few minutes to watching this video till the end as we unveil a nuanced and insightful analysis of Erdogan's Middle East dream, examining its historical roots, current manifestations, and potential impact on regional stability. So, what does Erdogan truly want for the Middle East? To answer this question, we must seek to understand his ambitions and influence in the region. You see, Recep Tayyip Erdogan's ascent to power in Turkey marked a significant shift in the country's foreign policy orientation, embracing a neo-Ottomanist doctrine. Erdogan sought to reassert Turkey's influence and presence in the Middle East and beyond, harkening back to the era of Ottoman Empire when Turkey held sway over vast territories in the region. Erdogan's neo-Ottomanism manifested in a series of actions and rhetoric that signaled Turkey's renewed activism in regional affairs. He openly supported Muslim Brotherhood movements, viewing them as potential allies in his quest to promote political Islam and counterbalance Western influence in the Middle East. But that's not all. Turkey's involvement in the Syrian and Libyan conflicts further underscored Erdogan's assertive foreign policy. In Syria, Turkey has launched several military operations in northern Syria to prevent the Kurdish People's Protection Units from expanding its territory and creating a de facto autonomous region along the Turkish border. Similarly, in Libya, Turkey intervened on behalf of the Tripoli-based government, providing military aid and training to counter rival forces. But Erdogan's neo-Ottomanism extended beyond military interventions. Ideally, Erdogan's neo-Ottomanism describes his foreign policy vision of restoring Turkey's role and influence in the former territories of the Ottoman Empire, especially in the Middle East and the Balkans. Erdogan has promoted Turkish culture and language, especially through the state-funded Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency and the Turkish Radio and Television Corporation, which have expanded their activities and broadcast in various countries and languages. But Turkey has taken clear sides in some of the conflicts, such as supporting Qatar against the Saudi-led blockade and backing Azerbaijan against Armenia in the Nagorno-Karabakh War. Turkey's involvement in these conflicts have provoked criticism and resentment from other actors such as the European Union, the United States, Russia, Iran, and Egypt. But here's what's truly disturbing. Erdogan's neo-Ottoman ambitions have raised deep concerns among neighboring countries, particularly those with historical grievances or territorial disputes with Turkey. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Greece, and Cyprus have all expressed unease over Turkey's expanding influence, perceiving it as a threat. Egypt, under President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, has emerged as a fierce rival of Turkey, viewing Erdogan's support for the Muslim Brotherhood as a direct danger to its own stability. Saudi Arabia, the region's traditional Sunni power, has also clashed with Turkey, particularly over the issue of political Islam and regional leadership. Iran, with its long-standing rivalry with Turkey, views Erdogan's neo-Ottomanism as an attempt to undermine its own influence in the region. Iraq, still grappling with the aftermath of the U.S.-led invasion and the rise of ISIS, has been wary of Turkey's military presence in its northern territories. Syria, under the Assad regime, has denounced Turkey's intervention in the Syrian conflict, viewing it as a flagrant violation of its sovereignty. And as you'll find out in the next chapter, Greece and Cyprus have long been at odds with Turkey over territorial disputes in the Aegean Sea and the Eastern Mediterranean. Now, across the Turkish border lies Syria, a nation scarred by the ravages of a protracted civil war. Erdogan, driven by a deep-seated fear of the Kurdish People's Protection Units, a Syrian Kurdish militia perceived as a threat to Turkey's national security, has launched a series of cross-border operations into Syrian territory. These incursions, often accompanied by airstrikes and the use of heavy weaponry, have aimed to dismantle the strongholds of the Kurdish People's Protection Units and establish a buffer zone along Turkey's border. While Turkey's actions have been motivated by its security concerns, they have also caused civilian casualties, displacement, and environmental damage. The establishment of Turkish military bases and observation posts has further altered the security equation in northern Syria, creating a complex interplay of actors with competing interests. But here's what's truly troubling. Further east, in the rugged terrain of northern Iraq, Turkey has long been engaged in a conflict with the Kurdistan Workers' Party, a Kurdish separatist group waging an armed insurgency against the Turkish state. Turkey has conducted numerous cross-border operations into northern Iraq, targeting Kurdistan Workers' Party bases and camps, while also establishing permanent military presence in the region. These actions have been met with resistance from the Iraqi government, which views them as a violation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. The presence of Turkish troops in northern Iraq has also complicated relations among the Kurdish political factions in the region. Even more disturbing, in the Azir waters of the eastern Mediterranean, rich in natural gas and oil reserves, Turkey finds itself embroiled in maritime disputes with Cyprus and Greece. Turkey's assertion of extensive maritime rights based on the concept of blue homeland has drawn condemnation from Cyprus and Greece, who view it as an infringement on their own EEZ claims. These disputes have intensified regional tensions and increased the risk of war. Naval maneuvers, Air Force jet scrambles, and a war of words have become commonplace, raising concerns about the potential for a wider confrontation. The involvement and support of other countries such as France, Egypt, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates have further complicated the situation, creating a volatile mix of alliances and rivalries. Even as Turkey's influence extends across the Middle East, its involvement in the Libyan conflict has added another layer to the region's complex dynamics. In 2019, Turkey embarked on a decisive military intervention in Libya, providing the internationally recognized government of national accord with air power, drones, military advisors, and thousands of Syrian mercenaries. The intervention was motivated by a combination of factors, including Turkey's desire to prevent the eastern-based Libyan National Army led by Khalifa Haftar from capturing Tripoli, the capital of the government of national accord, and to secure its own interest in the region, particularly its claim to maritime resources in the eastern Mediterranean. Turkey's intervention proved to be a turning point in the Libyan conflict. With Turkish support, the Government of National Accord forces were able to push back the Libyan National Army, regain control of Tripoli and much of western Libya, and lift a year-long siege of the capital. Turkey's involvement has also had a significant impact on the balance of power in the region, challenging the influence of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, which has been backing the Libyan National Army. However, Turkey's intervention has also had far-reaching implications beyond the immediate conflict. It has exacerbated existing rivalries and tensions in the region, particularly between Turkey and its Gulf rivals. It has also drawn the involvement of other international actors, such as Russia, which has provided support to the Libyan National Army. Even worse, the conflict has contributed to the proliferation of arms and the rise of militias in Libya, adding to the country's instability and making a lasting peace more elusive. Moreover, the involvement of foreign powers has raised concerns about the potential for proxy wars. Here's the thing, Turkey's involvement in the Middle East under leadership of Recep Tayyip Erdogan has had a profound and multifaceted impact on the region's stability, geopolitics, and development trajectory. Erdogan's neo-Ottoman ambitions, characterized by assertive foreign policy, military interventions, and support of Islamic groups, have reshaped the regional landscape, generating both positive and negative consequences. You see, Turkey's humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts have also played a significant role in alleviating the suffering of people affected by conflicts and natural disasters in the region. Additionally, Turkey's cultural and economic outreach has fostered strong ties with many Middle Eastern countries, promoting understanding and exchange. But in reality, Erdogan's assertive foreign policy and support for the Muslim Brotherhood have raised concerns about Turkey's intentions and destabilized already volatile regions. Its military interventions in Syria, Iraq, and Libya have drawn criticism for violating international law and exacerbating humanitarian crisis. Turkey's support for Islamic groups has been a source of tension with other regional powers, particularly Egypt and Saudi Arabia, who view these groups as threats to their own stability. Turkey's relations with these countries have deteriorated significantly, creating new divisions and rivalries. You see, Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the UAE have all reacted to Turkey's policies and actions with varying degrees of concern and opposition. Iran, a long-standing rival of Turkey, views Turkey's expansionist ambitions as a threat to its own regional influence. Now, Israel has been wary of Turkey's support for Hamas and its close relationship with Iran. Saudi Arabia and Egypt, once allies of Turkey, have clashed with Turkey over its support for the Muslim Brotherhood and its perceived interference in their domestic affairs. The UAE, while initially pursuing closer ties with Turkey, has also expressed concerns about its regional ambitions. The United States, the European Union, Russia, and China have all engaged with Turkey on regional matters with varying degrees of success and cooperation. The United States, while a NATO ally of Turkey, has expressed concerns about Turkey's military interventions, its purchase of the Russian S-400 missile defense system, and its democratic backsliding. The European Union, with its emphasis on human rights and democracy, has been critical of Turkey's authoritarian tendencies and its crackdown on dissent. Russia, with its own geopolitical interest in the region, has maintained a more pragmatic relationship with Turkey, viewing it as a potential counterweight to Western influence. China, seeking to expand its economic footprint in the region, has developed closer ties with Turkey, recognizing its strategic importance in the Middle East. These international powers have sought to balance their strategic and economic interest with their values and principles, engaging or disengaging with Turkey based on their assessment of its actions and intentions. Here's the thing. As Turkey continues to pursue its Middle East dream, the region of the world will have to face the reality and consequences of its actions. Whether Erdogan's Middle East dream is a nightmare to regional stability remains a complex and contested question. His actions have undoubtedly contributed to instability and conflict, but they have also created opportunities for dialogue, cooperation, and the pursuit of common interests. Adherence to international law is of the utmost importance, emphasizing that all involved parties should refrain from using aggressive force to alter treaties. While diplomacy remains the preferred approach, it's imperative to ensure that Turkey's conquest in Syria and Iraq are returned to their respective countries. Furthermore, a peaceful resolution must be sought for the occupation of northern Cyprus by Turkish forces since 1974. Erdogan's adoption of an aggressive border policy in the region has significantly shifted Turkey's trajectory away from the West and toward closer alignment with the East. The reality is that in the complex game of diplomacy, Turkey's next move will be crucial. Will it seek to heal the wounds of the past and embrace a path of cooperation, or will it continue down a path of assertiveness, further complicating the region's already volatile landscape? Let us know your personal thoughts in the comments section. If you found this video valuable, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.